Thanks for your introduction, madam. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Sesha Kiran. I am working as a senior scientist in Horticulture Research Station, Madanapalle. This Madanapalle is a very good belt for cultivation of the tomato, and in fact, it has the largest tomato market yard in the entire Asia. And the production from here goes to other states and other countries itself. And the congenial climate here throughout the year is favorable for cultivation throughout the year. So the weather conditions and water availability and these are very apt for cultivation of the tomato. So, and giving this brief introduction of this area where I am working, I would like to proceed to what are the major pests and diseases. So coming to the pest means there are some few insect pests and also diseases of the tomato. And as tomato is like any other solanaceous crop, this has a lot of fungal, bacterial, and viral diseases. Generally, if you take any mango or anything, like we have two or three few fungal diseases and one or bacterial disease. There are no viral diseases. But this is a solanaceous crop. This is a very good host for large number of fungal diseases, bacterial diseases, and viral diseases. In fact, there are more than 100 viruses itself reported on the tomato, that making it the cultivation of the tomato difficult, though it is very profitable, like that. So coming to the, I'm a plant pathologist. I'm a senior scientist working in the area of plant pathology. So I deal with diseases. But since there are two to three important major pests that are causing havoc in this tomato cultivation, I will also give few little bit introduction about those insect pests also. So firstly, it is a tomato fruit fly. Everyone might have been familiar, those who are having orchards cultivating the mango. So where the fruit fly is a major damage. In the same way, though it is not a major pest earlier, now it has become a major pest due to continuous cultivation. And that too, we see the farmers are cultivating this tomato in the orchards in the tomato orchard, in the mango orchards. So because of the non-availability of the fruits during the other rainy season and the winter season, where the mango fruit farming is there, so the pest has diverted its host range from mango and to tomato also, when the crop of is not available. As you are seeing in the pictures, we can see when the early stages, the adult female fruit fly, it will lay eggs underneath the skin, as you are seeing on the in screen in the left side. Left there, the small eggs clusters, it will be laid under the skin of the green tomato young fruit. So as the tomato is growing, the simultaneously the larva, the egg also will hatch, and it will hatch into a larva. Then larva will start feeding in the tomato, in the pulp of the tomato. So as it is feeding, and once the corresponding life cycle, corresponding stages of the larval stage is over, it will drop down into the soil, and it will pupate. These pupae will be dropped into the soil, where they will be hatching, and where the pupae will be moving to the next stage, where it will become it will be transformed into adult fruit fly. So as we see in the topmost right side picture, the damaged fruit fly, the damaged tomato infected with the fruit fly looks like this. And under very good congenial conditions, we can see severe lot of fruit fly incidents. A lot of incidents is there. And if it is neglected, and the problem is this with this is that these flies, these adults, they will be migrating to several kilometers, making it very difficult. And also the life cycle is very short, and it will be able to produce hundreds and thousands of the adults in a short period of time, resulting in the damage of the fruits in a large scale. So this is the picture where we can see the damaged fruits, which are unfit for consumption, and these are the thrown away by the farmers into the outside. So even this type of throwing out is also a dangerous one, because these thrown away produce has a egg, the larva, and pupa, and adults. So these, once they come out to the next stage, they will come back and move to the neighboring fields. So in the sea, we can see in the basket where there were a large number of damaged fruits. At worst conditions, the losses will be very high, even up to 100%. So there is one management practice with a pheromone lures. So this is a technology developed by the National Bureau of Agriculture Insect Resources, where based on it is called the sex pheromone. Actually, in the nature, the adult female, it releases the pheromone into the in the into the it is released. That pheromone is the pheromone means is the chemical. This pheromone is sensed by the males, and they come and they copulate. So and in that way the new generation will be produced. So as a mimicking this one, this pheromone is synthetically produced in the lab, and it is coming as in a small tube, as we can see in the right side. In the that is placed in the yellow sticky trap. Generally, we use in the yellow sticky traps. We are using only in the field level, only to catch some sucking pests randomly, which are those sucking pests which are attracted to the yellow color. They will come and stick, and in that way we can manage it. But here, this is an advanced version of this pheromone exploitation of the pheromone for cultivation of for controlling the pests. So where we are seeing where it was rounded off, you can see in this right side. So there is a small tube which is having a little few milligrams of the pheromone in a base. This is called this is a nano pheromone. So it's a nanotechnology based. So this will be the tube is placed, and a few holes will be pierced into this one, so that the pheromone is slowly released into the atmosphere or in the field. So once we place it, all the adult males which are in the tomato field, they will come and get attracted, and they will stick to the yellow sticky trap. So this yellow sticky trap, this is having on the surface, it is having a glue. Once the males come and feel that once the male comes and reaches the sticky trap, the wings or the legs, they will stick to this glue stick, and they will become immobilized on the this one. This is a very good this one. Here, generally in pheromone traps, like where we in mango or other, we use some insecticide, but here there is no need of any insecticide. Just with the base of pheromone, the your enemy itself will directly come to the this sticky trap, and it will get immobilized on the surface. Here on the picture you can see many adult males, they are coming in this one. What is the purpose means, once the males are in the environment are completely attracted here, and we are depriving the females of the males, so the generation ends there itself, and there will not be any further generation or the production of, because of there is no mating, there is no mating or copulation. Because of that, the females also are deprived of males. In that way, the egg production will be hampered. So this is the right side. We can see the damaged fruits, unfit consumption, they are thrown away. So in the field, we can see like this number of immature and some fruits which are damaged due to the fruit fly. They are falling itself, and this becomes the source for next generation of the flies. So next, another important one is which have been introduced from USA, and this was not a pest earlier, major pest, but it has become a major serious pest in the last 4 to 5 years. So this is an American pinworm. This is called a tuta absoluta. Earlier, this was this was confused by the farmers as a tomato leaf miner, because the symptoms appear like on the leaves you can see small white um, uh, uh, small white threads like that, or white tunnels like that. So which is a similar symptom of the tomato leaf miner. But afterwards, it was seen that when it is a different one, and the damage itself is the damage, the mode of damage, it has been even generally leaf miner means it infects only the leaves, and it start scraping the leaf, and it start eating it. But this one, over a period of time, it will enters the fruits, and even it will damage the fruits also. So it is called American pinworm. It was introduced from USA to India in 2007. Since then, it has become a major threat, and we call it as an invasive pest. So invasive pest, it was introduced from the other countries, and it has become a serious concern once it is neglected, or the appropriate management practices are not adopted properly. The damage can be up to 100%. So this is we can see in the picture the adult of the tuta absoluta. So majorly it is a tomato pinworm, but it is tomato is a solanaceous crop. So other solanaceous vegetables like tomato, potato, brinjal also it can infect. But majorly it is this one. So in the picture we can see how it is able to means, as in the first picture we are seeing the larva. It starts scraping the surface and it starts eating it. Then it enters into the inner layers of the leaf. And further we can see the blotch type of mining on the leaves. So from there it enters into the fruits also. Once it is in the fruits, it starts eating inside. And it's once it is larval stage is complete, it starts it will fill the entire fruit with the fecal matter. And the larva, once the stage is completed, it will come out. That pupate will pupate, and the adult fly will come out of the fruit by making a small exit hole. So because there is a damage on the fruit surface, that will also serve as a secondary infestation for other pathogens. So we can see once the fruit is infected, we can see the larva exiting out or larva coming out, and that is surrounded by a fecal matter. These fruits are unfit for consumption. So these are the another one, like where if we once these damaged fruits, once we peel off the surface, we can see inside the larva feeding in it on it. The left side is the larva feeding on the surface of the leaf and making tunnels into the leaf, and it is also can infect the fruits. And once these fruits are also invaded, and the pupa will either come out and fall on the soil, or also it will pupate there, and it will then the adult will come out of the fruit surface by making a small exit hole. So all this period it will take around 20 to 30 days. So this is the life cycle right side, where we can see egg small creamy color eggs are there. Those are hatched, and they will be converted in. They will be transformed into a larva within 4 days. This larva will feed for around like 10 to 14 days. Then it will be, once it is enough feeding is over, then it will be pupate, and then this pupa will be transformed into a adult one. So this is the life cycle of a tomato leaf miner. So this is a major pest, as I told. This has been introduced from the other country, and it had spoiled the entire tomato belt in the Madanapalle and other tomato cultivation. Where then IHR has Indian Institute of Horticulture Research has extensively done the research, and it has come out with several management practices. Out of it, like there are several chemicals which have been tested and at a different dosage, like cyantraniprole, flubendamide, isofate plus imidacloprid, some combi insecticide like chlorantraniliprole, which is a common. Everyone, most of the farmers are familiar. Chlorantraniliprole comes as a coragen. The same way, quinalphos, like that. So when we see it is a so this type of infected fruits, we have to collect and destroy it or burn it away, because it may harbor the insect, the different stages of the pest. So, and the pupae will fall in the soil, and they will undergo hibernation, or like they will. We have to plow the field during and if any pupae are there which are going to the dormancy. So the during the summer, if we plow it, means they are directly exposed to the sun, and they will get killed. So in the same way, there's just like previously I told, there are some pheromone traps. In the same way, the same technology is available here also. That is using the sex pheromone, we can trap the adult males, and making the female deprive of the male insects. So mating or copulation is prevented, and the next generation of the pinworm is drastically reduced. There are some eco-friendly approaches also, like neem oil, or which we commercially will available as azadirachtin at 10,000 ppm concentration. That if we spray on the plants, that will have a deleterious effect on the eggs and different larval stages. So the eggs are hatching of the eggs is prevented. That is the eco-friendly approach, like 10,000 ppm, highly concentrated neem based product. So that is just at that is 1 ml up to ml is sufficient. Along with that, we need to paste the yellow sticky trap. Just as previously I told, this is also a same yellow sticky trap. That is the base is there. In between, in the center, we'll put a small hole, and we'll insert a this small Eppendorf tubes. That Eppendorf tube is loaded with a few milligrams of the pheromone in a base. So, so how to attract means this Eppendorf tube will make a few, like either 3 to 4 holes on the surface of the on the cap and also on the tube. So through that holes, small, like with a needle, we can insert and we can pierce some few holes. Through that small holes, that pheromone is slowly released. Is slowly released into the field. So that will be sensed by the adult males, and they will come feeling that there is some adult male is there. So once they come to and approach the yellow sticky trap, they get either wings or the legs. They get sticked and they become immobilized on the surface of the insect trap. So this is this type of pheromone traps I have procured from NBIR, and they have placed it in several. Though I'm a pathologist, there was so farmers have felt that this is a major problem. I have installed in more than 100 acres, and the results are very good. And the farmers are able to produce. Farmers are able to get good quality produce, devoid of this tomato pinworm or the fruit fly. And these damaged fruits, they don't get such price. Like generally, each basket they sell for 30 kgs box, they sell for 100 rupees or 150 rupees in the market, or like they become unfit for consumption. But a tomato fruit which has been placed, which has been collected from a pheromone trap inserted fields, they produce the quality pest free. This one, such type of mango boxes, such type of the tomato boxes, they fetched even 800 rupees for 30 kg, very quality produce. So the results are the very good. So it doesn't involve any usage of any pesticide or anything like a cumbersome process or like a highly expensive. Not there is nothing like expensive. Here just each pheromone trap cost along with the sticky trap and the tube, it just costs 60 rupees. If we place depending on the levels of the, generally in the initially we place around 2 or 3 in the field per acre. So if you feel that the more number of adults are sticking in this one, that indicates that once we monitor that pest is high, then we'll go to the next stage. Like we'll increase the number of pheromone traps either to 8 to 10 or 10 to 15. In the last summer season, when the infestation, when this pest infestation were very high, the farmers were very much concerned, and they are not interested to lose even a single fruit also. In that condition, the farmers placed even 40 pheromone this pheromone based this yellow sticky traps 40 per acre, because at that time the 30 kgs box the fetched a price of 6,000 rupees, means each kg costed 200 rupees. So there is no point in underutilization of this pheromone technology. So they went to the extent of placing 40 pheromone traps, pheromone based yellow sticky trap per acre. So this was a very good successful, and there is no usage of the pesticide. So another is small, majority of the solanaceous or many of the cotton or anything pest crops, they are infected with helicoverpa. It is like a lepidopteran pest. So it eats on the foliage, it enters into the fruit and it will cause damage. As we can see, is it like American bollworm we call it. So young larvae it feeds on the tender foliage, and mature larvae it will bore some holes into the, and it will enter into the plant. It will enter into the fruit also, and once the larvae fall into the soil and they go pupate, and they will be it will undergo in the life cycle, in the process it will be transformed into adult male. So these are the eggs. This is the life cycle where we can see on the leaf surface, we can see the eggs, whitish or creamy, shining eggs are laid on the surface. There will be over like a few days, it will be transformed into a larva. It larva starts feeding. Initial larva, so the later stages of the larva, it will be having this hairy surface. So once it is gone to the progress to that stage, it is very difficult to with the insecticide, because the insecticide will have least effect on the caterpillar having the hairs. So after a period of time, that will undergo pupation and it will be transformed into a adult male. So many practices are there to manage like release of the trichogramma at the rate of 1 lakh per hectare, which are parasitoids. In the same way, nuclear polyhydrosis virus, if we spray it, this is a virus. It will cause a disease on the helicoverpa. So in that way, so it is a enemy for an enemy. So our enemy is the Helicoverpa. The enemy of Helicoverpa is nuclear polyhedrosis virus. So we are exploiting the enemy of our insect pest. The same way as previously we told, agile directing like a neem-based formulation at the 10,000 ppm concentration. That is also if you spray on the leaf surface on the foliage, that will also take care of the insect pest. Along with that, there is some as very popularly Bacillus thuringiensis that formulation is there, BT. So that also if you spray, that will also have effect. Along with that, we can also border cropping with marigold that will act as a deterrent or it will attract this pest. So we can skip the we can make the crop divide of insect in this damage by this. Along with this, there are some insecticides like different insecticides like indoxacarb, flubendamide, novaluran, fozolon, chlorantran, chlorcorazone. So some of the insecticides which are commonly used for pinworm or other things, they'll equally hold good for this also. Because it is a lepidopteran pest, even we can use emamectin benzoate, which is a very cheap and cost-effective chemical. Hardly like we will get in the market like 250 grams for hardly 650 rupees, sir. So, like the dosage of the emamectin benzoate is only 80 grams per acre. So, with just 600 rupees, we'll be able to cover the around 1 hectare. So, it's very cheap and moreover, it doesn't have any side effect or mammalian toxicity or any other. And because that emamectin benzoate is a derived from a bacterial. Along with that, as previously I told, the pheromone technology, because it is a big, the pest is, the adult is a very bigger one. We cannot use sticky traps. Instead, we will convert it, we'll use this for funnel traps, where we put the lure, and all the males are attracted and it will fall into the funnel and it will fall into the bottom of the funnel. So, in that way, we will collect the males. So, these are all the few, three are important insect pests. Along with that, there are some major some diseases also like early blight, late blight, and septorial leaf spot, bacterial leaf diseases, and others also. So first is the early blight, which is caused by the Alternaria solani or Alternaria alternata. So how we identify the means the symptoms we can manifest it on the stem, leaf, and also on the fruits. So because we call it as a foliar disease because the disease is infecting mainly the foliage. So because of the infection, the leaves, the spots become necrotic, and or if under severe infection the entire leaves they get detached or there will be defoliation. The leaves will get dropped off. On the leaves, on the fruit, on the stem surface also we can see this type of symptoms as manifested on the left side. So because generally the fruits will be will be under the leaf surface, so they are not directly exposed to the sunlight during the not when the plant is healthy. When the entire plant undergoes defoliation or when the leaf falls, directly these fruits are directly exposed to the sun, resulting in a poor quality fruits. And moreover, if the foliage is lost, then that affects the quality of the fruits also, as we can see here. So, one important symptom is because there are number of foliar diseases, it is difficult to find out which one is like late blight, early blight, septorial leaf spot, like that. Many foliar leaf spots are there. So, how to differentiate each leaf spot means if we see here on the leaf surface, we can see on the there are spots which is like a target board effect. Target board effect means target board means like just how we see in the majority of the some games. The shooters they will be pointing the gun towards the target board, and there are which consists of a small circles like concentric rings. So in the same way, how that board is there, in the same type of symptoms, which is having alternated light green, light brown, and dark brown. These rings will be there on the see. This is called a target board effect. This is a very diagnostic feature for the early blight of tomato. So as we see, we can see this is the symptoms on the foliage. We can see on the stem also. As the disease is progressing, it will infect the fruits also, and because of it is a big the fruits rot and they'll fall off. So like this, if you see the conditions under which this disease is becoming very severe means 28 to 30 degrees temperature, because there are two to three different species which are responsible for causing disease like Alternaria solani, Alternaria alternata, and Alternaria alternata and former species Lycopersicea. So what is one important practice what we have the farmers have to do is immediately after the cultivation, the entire field will be having this this debris of the crop. So this debris in the and the management aspect, this debris has a lot of this infected debris has a lot of this pathogen propagules like either mycelium or like that. So if you allow if you allow the debris to get incorporated into the soil, the pathogen or the fungus will survive in the soil. So how to prevent it means we have to collect all the debris and we have to burn it away so that we can reduce the pathogen load in the soil. So generally that is one of the important management practice. Generally farmers are tend to have the habit of only using the chemical immediately, whether it is the insect pest or the pathogen. Immediately, they want only a solution with just a direct usage of the fungicide that should be killed. But what we generally in any crop, we adopt the integrated disease management practice, where we adopt using either chemicals or like a collection of the debris and burning away physical methods, and also like non-pesticidal approaches like pheromones, like in the same way like botanicals, like using of plant extracts like neem-based extract that will make the produce that will make the produce free of the pesticides, because uh, farmers doesn't know the ill effects of the pesticides once the pesticides are sprayed, like harmful pesticides, they have each insecticide depending on it the toxicity. It has a persistence level for a few 1 week or 2 weeks like that. But when the farmers feel that market price is high, immediately he will go for harvest. He'll go for harvesting, and he will send it to the market. So and immediately as the it being a vegetable, they have a very short life. They're immediately consumed by the customers. So but however, if the pesticide is sprayed today, if they are harvesting in 1 or 2 days means immediately it will be consumed within 2 or 3 4 days. But the pesticide sprayed, that residue or it will harmful effect is there, and it will be there for at least to like 10 days to 15 2 weeks. So if the so the we are not only consuming the tomato, but along with the tomato we are ingesting the toxic pesticide. So that is going to have a very serious ill health serious health effects, or even most of the chemicals either carcinogenic or nerve poisons are like that. So the chemical pesticide should be used only when the it is when all the other approaches are failed, or like as only one of the management practice. Even if we apply any pesticide, we should see the toxic effect, whether it has a mammalian toxicity or anything, or we have to carefully observe the waiting period. Waiting period means the one the chemical is sprayed, how many days we have to wait for harvesting the produce. Then only we have to harvest, because our intention is not to spoil the health of the customer or over the consumer. So these are the other cultural practices as well. So destruction of the infected plant material left in the field, use of healthy seed material, because once we are majority of the people they consume, they get the seeds from the very reputed company like a Syngenta or like a very popular brands. So they'll give the seed treatment, but in fact in spite of that, if you give the use the seed treatment with a very good like a chlorothalonil or mancozeb plus carbendazim, different fungicides are there. Even if the pathogen inoculum is there in the seed or on the surface of the seed or inside, it will kill the pathogen at early stages itself. So that's a very simple seed treatment is there. Even otherwise, initially we can say you use depending on the disease. Different fungicides like carbendazim, mancozeb. Even now we are getting carbendazim plus mancozeb combi fungicide in the market. We'll get a SAF companion, or like from Indophil company Sprint, like carbendazim 25% and mancozeb 50%, different combinations. And along with it, we can also use copper oxychloride, which is a Blytox, what we call, or like COC, which is having like antifungal and antibacterial property. Some are advanced fungicides like chlorothalonil is also there, which is commercially available as a Kavach. So that is 70% wettable powder. Along with that, some plant extracts are also there. But there are some certain new molecules which are available. They are like strobilurin. So these are some derived from microorganisms. They are useful. They are very highly effective even at a lower doses. Generally, for a fungicide like a carbendazim, we use 1 gram per liter, or a mancozeb, we use 2.5 grams per liter. But these are the latest molecule which are highly effective even at lower doses like 0.3 grams per liter. Means for a 100, for a 10 liters hardly we use 2 to 3 grams, but though it is dose is lower, but these the efficacy or efficiency of these fungicides of these latest molecules or these new molecules are far better than the are higher than the previous existing molecules. So along with that, though these this is called strobilurin based molecules, like in the market we get different types of strobilurins like azoxystrobin, trifloxystrobin, pyraclostrobin, like that are there. And along with these higher efficiency at a lower dose, and these are coming along with in a combination with other fungicides like triazoles, like difenconazole, tebuconazole, and like that many hexaconazole are there. And so two different fungicides we are mixing in a different proportion to make the management very effective. So in the market we can see Emistar Top. That is a combination of azoxystrobin plus difenconazole. It is a product from Syngenta. In the same way, from BASF, it's a German company. It is a so here we are. This is having fluxapyroxide and pyraclostrobin. This is another strobilurin based fungicide, and this one. So if we, this is a very highly powerful and highly effective. Based on my experience in the usage of the field in the farmer's field, just it's the 80 ml per 200 liters is sufficient. Just a small bottle, which just 80 ml, that is sufficient for 200 liters. Means hardly we are using it 0.25 to 0.3 ml. That's it. 0.2 ml per 0.2 means 0.2 into 200, 40, sorry, 80 ml, 0.4 ml per liter. So that is a sufficient. So that is highly effective rather than the previously existing fungicides like mancozeb or carbendazim or others. The same way from Dhanuka, which they have the azoxystrobin plus difenconazole, and in the same way from Adama Chemicals, others is there, the azoxystrobin plus tebuconazole. So along with these are the blights. So early blight is important disease. Along with that, we see damping off, which is a nursery disease. So which is a generally it is a serious disease in the nursery. If you are growing in a sick soil already, which is having soil-borne fungal like Pythium phytophthora, and then we can see death of the seedlings in a bunches. Because only unless we get a very good healthy seedlings, we will not be able to cultivate in the field. So it is a very important disease, and if you have to take care of the nursery in the initial stages, otherwise you will not be able to get the planting material at the later stages. And here two types of pre-emergence damping off means the pathogen is in the seed even before the seedling emerges. The seedling gets killed. The fungus kills the seed. The same way, some post-emergence damping off, the seedling will emerge out of the soil and the pathogen is infected later. So it is a post-emergence damping off. See here we can see at the collar region there is a rotting. In the same way, in the trace where we are growing the seedlings, because of the death, we are seeing a lot of patches, hollow patches, or like empty patches. Empty patches because the pathogen is inoculum is there in the soil and that is killing this, leaving only few seedlings in the soil, in the trace. So these are the different. So being a soil borne disease, it is very difficult to control. But however, there are some biocontrol agents like trichoderma, pseudomonas. If we mass multiply in the farmyard manure and the neem cake, and if we in the if the nursery beds are mixed with this type of biocontrol agent, so that will take care of the fungus in the initial stages. Still, there is some infection means like we can use this mancozeb or carbendazim or copper oxychloride drenching in the entire nursery bed should be drenched with this fungicide so that the pathogen gets killed. There are many commercially available. This one, along with that, some biocontrol agents also like trichoderma viride or trichoderma hergianum or like other biocontrol glycolidium virins and like that. So along with this, there are some other buckeye rot, which is in the field level at a harvesting stage. We can see on the black or necrotic patches on the fruits. That is also caused by Phytophthora nicotianae. It is one Womystis fungi, which is a major and devastating one. If adopt package of practices or like adopt particular chemicals are not sprayed. So Phytophthora, it is a womb-estis fungi. The problem with these Phytophthora-based or womb-estis disease is that the disease, once the plant gets infected, within a few days, the effect is there. Or within 3 to 4 days, the entire fruit gets damaged. So it is a rapidly multiplying pathogen, which will cause devastation in a very short time. Then generally, even without giving sufficient time for the farmer to act and to adopt the to spray. So we can see at the pre-emergence stage, like nursery stage, causing pre-emergence damping off, post-emergence damping off. On the fruits, we can see this type of necrotic patches. And on the surface, once the infection is high, we can see the fungal growth, white mycelial growth on the surface of the fruits. So this is what the different on the blossom also. Blossom means on the flowers also. This infection also we can see on the fruits. Most serious, particularly as I told, this is a Phytophthora disease. These diseases are very severe, particularly in this winter season, particularly in the current conditions, where there is a high rainfall or the moisture levels are very high and low temperatures. These are very much congenial, and within a short period of time, without giving the time for the farmer to respond or act, the plants get devastated. So how we manage means we have to, as previously I told, we have to immediately after the crop season is completed, like immediately we have to collect all the debris and we have to burn it off, because the infected plants, they will have the pathogen, the propagules are there. If we are properly not disposed of, they will get into the mixed into the soil, and there they will be surviving in a different spores like a chlamydospores or like a or oospores in a different asexual and sexual stages. And once they'll be in a dormant period. When once again, if we take up the crop in the next season, then the pathogen gets the host availability, and it will cause devastation. So to avoid that, immediately after harvesting the crop, we have to burn the plant debris so that the pathogen gets killed or burnt off. So most of the Umestis fungi, very commonly used fungicides are there, like metalaxyl, cymoxanil, or like commercially we are getting some other from different Bayer company or another, we are getting fluopicolide or like other molecules, or ethoboxam, from Sumitomo, like Japanese company we are getting. So ethoboxam, like which is at 100 ml is sufficient for 100 liters. So these are different cymoxanil, metalaxyl. These are very good fungicides. Along with that, as we seen that the epidemiology of this disease means at what condition this is a disease is occurring, like low temperature and high humidity. So if the planting if we plant the if we give for a dense planting, if the plants are very near, there will be more transpiration and more humidity in the field. So if we give for a broader spacing, wider spacing between the plants, so that will give proper penetration of the sunlight into the field. So there will be moisture levels or humidity levels in the field will be lesser, so that will give lesser disease incidence. So wider spacing along with the chemical space of metalaxyl mancozeb, that will be good. Along with that, some there are no, like most of these Womystis fungi, there are no resistant varieties. So this only chemicals like metalaxyl mancozeb and Carjate, cymoxanil plus mancozeb, those were effective. So along with that, as I told previously, many other foliar diseases, means leaf spots which are causing on the leaf pathogens. This is like a septoria leaf spot. This is a Deuteromycotis disease, like imperfect fungi. So if you see on the leaf, this is a different symptoms. We can see on the small spots having a necrotic patches in the inner surface. And once this disease is there, we can see surrounding yellow color halo on the surroundings, like on the lower surface and upper surface. And if the disease is high, the entire the as we can see on the lower side, there will be drying of the leaves and falling of the leaves. So if adequate care is not taken, most of the foliage gets detached and there will be defoliation that will result in the underproduction of the fruits, and also poor quality undersized fruits and less production. So these whatever diseases or insect pests that is damaging the foliage, that is reflecting in the size and the quality and the quantity of the yield. So disease cycle, like as I told, like the defoliated leaves that will are the fallen off leaves that gets incorporated into the soil, and once the next, if we take up next season, that the pathogen propagules or fruiting bodies present in the debris that will get immediately access to the plantation, the plants which are next sown in the next season. So we have to collect the debris and burn it off. Along with that, there are very good chemicals available. As previously I told, Merivan is there, BASF. So here I have shown that the same thing, it is effective even for the same fungicide equally holds good. This fluxopyroxide plus pyraclostrobin that goods works well for the early blight and also for the septorial leaf spot. So these are the different foliar diseases. Along with that, as a like different mechanical practice, as I told, the pathogen survives in the soil for a period of time. So continuous monocropping is not recommended. So if you grow for any other crop other than the solanaceous, like other than tomato or chilies or brinjal, if you avoid that one, other than solanaceous, the pathogen is present in the soil, is deprived of the host, and its inoculum load will be reduced over a period of time. Along with that, some good fungicides are there. Copper oxychloride, Blytox, or chlorothalonil, and mancozeb, benomil. These are good. So disease remove, as I told, integrated disease management. Remove the disease leaves. Improve the air circulation by giving wider spacing. Mulching around the base. As I told, why we need this plastic mulching on the surface of the soil means because the debris is there in the soil, infected debris. If we are not giving plastic mulching, the debris or the plant, the crop, the foliage of the next crop gets access to the gets touching to the soil surface, and the pathogen present on the infected debris gets access to the fresh foliage, and infection will start. So if we remove all the foliage up to 20 centimeters from the soil level, that will prevent the access of the crop to the pathogen present in the soil. Along with that, we are supposed to do the polythene mulching, where we'll cover the long beds with plastic mulches or polythene mulches, and where we are planting, and only we make holes and the plastic mulches, and there will be planting. So the adult plants, the foliage is prevented access to the soil, so that will prevent the access of the pathogen to the infecting the crop. Along with, we have to avoid the overhead watering or sprinkler irrigation, crop rotation, as I told. Crop rotation, because if the pathogen is continuously, we are cultivating the same crop, the pathogen propagules are like infected debris having loads of several loads of pathogen is present, and it gets access to the next crop. So if we deprive the next crop, if we deprive the pathogen of the host crop in the next season, so that will the load of the pathogen will gradually reduce due to unavailability of the host. So along with that, as a fungicides, only as a last resort, we have to use different good copper-based fungicides, and triazoles are available in the market, which will take care of the diseases. Along with this, there is some important wilt diseases like a fusarium wilt. So, out of my experience, I have seen this is a very dreadful disease because it will cause devastation within a short period of time, and it results in the complete death of the plants in a larger patches, even causing 100% losses. So, I'll just show an example. So, how the symptoms are there means we can see. So many plants wilt. So farmers feel that the plant is wilting means, so probably the farmers will feel the plant is drying because of unavailability of water, but it is not true. But even if the supply of the water, the plants will not recover, because the pathogen, which the pathogen is the Fusarium oxysporum lycopersicii. It enters through the roots into the plant system, and it will be blocking all the vascular tissues or the conducting tissues from the root to the leaves. So the entire vascular tissues are the conducting vessels, which are supposed to be filled with nutrients and solutes, which are useful for the plant. That is get blocked by the fungal mycelium. So even though we supply the nutrient, the plant is not in a situation to utilize it. And because of the blockage of the vascular tissue, the entire foliage is deprived of the nutrients, and then consequently, the foliage undergo chlorosis and then finally necrosis. So how to identify means, if you take the plant and give a longitudinal cut, we can see this type of reddish brown discoloration. Initially, we can see lower leaves undergoing yellow color chlorosis, and over a period of time, completely drying will be there in a patches. And suppose we are giving a irrigation, the neighboring through along with the irrigation water, because it is a soil-borne disease, the pathogen, the fusarial pathogen, that conidia, they will be carried from one plant to the other along with the irrigation water. In that way, it will spread from one plant to another one, and and the plants will die in patches. So here the lower picture where we are seeing, there is the death of the plants in bunches in a patches. So this is a picture I have collected from my field visit in the farmer's field, where he has grown around in 3 acres. He has invested 4 to 5 lakhs. And expecting till 50 to 60 days, the crop was very good, and within 15 to 20 days, the entire crop devastated, and he was not able to get even a single rupee of income. The small farmer, 3 acres he has cultivated. Within 50 to 60 days old, even without having a single picking of the from the tomato crop, he has suffered a loss of 4 to 5 lakhs. So that is the level of. See, this is another picture. The farmer name was Chandra. We can see the death of the plants, the drying of the plants in a patches, and it did not give any. The farmer was not able to harvest a single fruit also. He did not get any returns from this crop. So these are the symptoms. So we can see chlorosis of the leaves, and once we give a longitudinal cut, we can see the vascular tissues are blocked, and because of that, we can see yellow patches like that, or reddish brown patches. This is a longitudinal cut, and this is a transverse cut. So how we manage means, this Fusarium is a likes the acidic pH. If a Fusarium is a pathogen which performs well, or like which survives well in the soil at alkaline conditions or like neutral conditions. So if you are able to reduce the pH of the soil at that conditions, this pathogen will survive. With the multiplication of the pathogen or the growth of the pathogen will be very less. So under that condition, so we generally uh, the pH we have to raise it. Generally, sorry, the pathogen will survive very good under the acidic conditions like 5.5 like that. So if you raise the pH by liming by 6.5 to 7 at alkaline conditions or neutral conditions, the pathogen multiplication is less. So we will be at a reduced conditions, are like unfavorable conditions for the multiplication of the pathogen. The pathogen effect in disease, the pathogen effect on the crop will be lesser. So as I told, crop rotation. So because this pathogen, the Fusarium is a very deadly pathogen, it can survive this either in the form of fruiting bodies or conidia. It will survive in the soil for 4 to 5 years. So we are not supposed, once we see this type of disease, we should avoid cultivation of the tomato crop in the next at least 4 to 5 years. Otherwise, even if we plant the same thing, the wilting will result, and the farmer will not be able to harvest any single rupee in this one. So we have to avoid cultivation of the solanaceous vegetables for the next 4 to 5 years. So that is the thing. So
Uh,
how we
Hello,
yeah, madam.
Dr. Sesha Kiran, it's 5:50. We're running short of time. Can we take up some questions?
Yeah. So these are the major fungal insect pests and fungal diseases. If anything is this is a very total insect pest and disease scenario in the tomato. If you have any queries or anything, I'll be glad to answer your queries.
Yeah, okay. So I'll take up as much as possible. So
No
the
problem.
first question is, what are the most prevalent insect pests affecting tomato crops currently?
Yeah, as I told, tuta, fruit executa, pinworm, and fruit fly, these are the major insect pests. From age old, some lepidopteran pests as I shown, Helicoverpa armigera, pink bollworm, that is one of the old pests. The incidence levels is low, but still it can be managed with a few management practices. But currently, this American pinworm is the major one. It is invasive pest. It was introduced from Florida, USA, and from around 4 to 5 years or 5 years, 6 years, it has caused devastation up to 100%. Because the farmers was not aware, even the scientific community is not aware. The farmers felt like based on the symptoms, they felt it is a leaf miner means like tomato normal leaf miner. But the based on the symptoms, and it was like afterward it was identified as a completely different pest infecting the fruits, and based on the exit hole science, the management practices are completely different. So they worked for a period of time, and they devised light traps, pheromone traps, and also they devised some new molecules, eco-friendly approaches, and in spite of that, it continues to be a serious pest, taking away huge uh, losses,
Okay.
particularly out of my experience. As we can see, I can see on the, I can show you on the screen. So this once I place this many adult males are coming and sticking this one.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the
The
current
damage you can
status?
see, damage we can see here. See, on the fruit surface, we can see this type of exit holes. So once we see this type of fruits, no consumer will be able to are interested to purchase the type of insect infested fruits, where we can see even the feces of the fecal matter of the insect pest players.
Okay.
It The management practices are there, but the farmer has to be vigilant, and it has to undergo different approaches, like pheromone based technology, and also insecticidal sprays, and that the farmers have to go for a community approach, because these adults,
Okay.
they'll be able to fly from one field to another one. So if
Okay.
I spray in my 2 to 3 acres, if I keep it, they were thinking that my field is, I am securing my field. If your neighboring field farmer has not taken any management practices, the which are not managed in the neighboring, from the neighboring fields, it will come and fly off into your field, and it will start damaging. So is a major
Okay.
pest, as like in this you
Yeah.
can see, infestation by this pest can lead yield losses ranging from 60 to 100%.
Okay.
I
So
have
next,
promoted this pheromone technology almost to 100 to 150, more than 150 acres, because the National Bureau of Agriculture Insectors, they have developed this nano pheromones, that yellow sticky traps, which are highly economical at a low cost, and this is very highly and pesticide free produce we can
okay.
will be able to get.
Yeah. So what's the current status of viral diseases affecting tomato plants?
Viral diseases, it based on the location, the pest incidence is there. So some tropical conditions, some leaf Gemini viruses are there. Tomato leaf curl, like a tomato yellow leaf curl, which is transmitted by the white flies. That is the major disease. Some normal other viral diseases like tomato mosaic is there, which is transmitted by contact or like that. Those are there. Some thrips transmitted tospoviruses are there. Tomato fruited fruit spot wilt, fruit spotted tomato spotted wilt virus, thrips transmitted. They are there. But last time during I think summer or like that, Karnataka there was major incidence of the viral diseases, and because of that they were not able to harvest good yield. And Maharashtra also had multiple viruses that resulted in the lesser produce, and that is the reason we had a huge spike in the prices of the tomato. Uh, that one. So
Okay.
we have to viral disease means many viral diseases are there, like tomato leaf curl, mosaic, and thrips transmitted viruses like that are there. So as part of the management practices, along with that we have to place yellow sticky traps and blue sticky traps. So yellow sticky traps will take care of the white flies. So once white flies are controlled, so whitefly transmitted viruses are also kept in control. In the same way, if you put blue sticky traps, we can control thrips. So thrips, which is a sucking pest. So thrips transmitted viruses also can be managed.
Okay. And
So
how
these
has the
viral diseases are
incidence?
major reason for the spike in diseases, where the produce of the tomato went from 5 rupees to the 200 rupees within a short period of time, and the entire produce got devastated, or like the plants became unproductive because of the incidence of the virus, particularly in Maharashtra and Karnataka.
Okay. And how has the incidence of aphids changed in tomato cultivation recently?
What, madam? What is that one?
How has the incidence of aphids,
Amphids, sir.
APHIDs, yeah, changed in
A-
tomato cultivation recently?
Amphids or aphids, I think. Aphids, they are
Aphids,
another
sorry,
thing.
sorry, aphids, not aphids, aphids.
I don't think like I see many fields, but aphid incidence is very low. Or I don't see anything like, or
Okay,
even if it is there, like very minor incidents. I think tomato there is no aphid, I think.
okay. And are farmers facing new challenges with spider mites in tomato cultivation?
Yeah, majority of the times these mites are a major problem only in the neglected plants. But this is a very good vegetable and very higher for the most of the farmers who are cultivating are very advanced and they are very very vigilant. They see the crop regularly. So if we are neglected fields in that cases only that mite incidence will be there, but otherwise, mite incidence is not a major problem uh,
Okay,
most of the times.
okay. And are there innovative strategies being employed to combat fungal diseases in tomatoes?
What, madam? Can you repeat?
Are there innovative strategies being employed to
Yeah,
combat fungal diseases in tomatoes?
yeah, as I told, like the major concern is the fungal diseases is early blight and late blight. So, and some Fusarium wilt is there. Innovative approaches means innovative means new molecules are emerging. Like previously, they were using mancozeb or carbendazim or some new molecules like chlorothalonil, kavach at low like zero point 0.5 grams or 1 gram that was sufficient. But new approaches means new molecules are coming which are bacteria based or some strobilurins groups are there. So they are giving a very good result like compared to the previous molecules where we need 1 to 2.5 grams per liter. But these strobilurin based, they are very effective at a lower dose, hardly like zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3, and they are coming as they shown just 80 ml bottle is sufficient for 1 acre, and they are far superior than the old molecules. So those approaches are there. Other
Okay,
than that, new approaches means only new molecules in the fungal diseases. Like if it is insect means we can see new pheromone based or anything like that. But if a repeated usage of same fungicide or like then the fungus develops resistance, so new molecules will be discovered and they will be commercialized. So that is the only thing. Even if you in the management practices, we suggest the farmers not to go for a application of the same fungicide repeatedly. Suppose
okay,
this time we spray chlorothalonil. Next time we spray azoxystrobin. Another time we ask to go for a fluxapyroxide. So we prevent the pathogen to develop the resistance against a single molecule. So we have to alter the chemicals. So though it is effective, we have to use multiple fungicides, and we should not use a single fungicide repeatedly. So that will result in avoiding the development of resistance. The only new
okay,
molecules are coming. As I told, it's an integrated disease management practices. We have to adopt not only chemical based. So we have to burn the debris. We have to do crop rotation. We have to do summer plowing to expose the this one, and we have to use biocontrol agents like that. Multiple approaches that will take
okay,
care of the fungal diseases.
okay. So now I'll take the last question. Has
Yeah,
there been advancements in biological control of tomato pests?
biological control means see biological control where we use some biological material, but here only soil-based diseases are there, like trichoderma, pseudomonas, bacillus. They will take care of the soil-borne diseases. But that type of soil-borne diseases are not a major one here. So, but here in Fusarium wilt, so in spite of the many biological control agents are there, but once at a field level, none of them performs well. Biological control are in the damping of some trichoderma pseudomonas they will give, and we can previously multiplied, and we can fill the soil with we can supplement the soil with biocontrol agent that will carry damping of level. But other diseases we use some pseudomonas, as I told us, some early blight, septoria, leaf spot, they are there. So where this some pseudomonas fluorescens, bacillus, glycolidium variants like that, some fungal biocontrol agents are there. So they will there if you spray those bacterial biocontrol agents, they will multiply on the foliage and they will take care of the disease to certain extent. But
Okay.
field level, Phytophthora is there. As I told, I was not aware. The time did not permit me to discuss about that late blight. This is the important fungal disease for the past 4 to 5 years. It gives the response time is very less. Even if you within as out of my personal experience, I will tell you, like 4 weeks, in the November ending, at the weekend, I moved from my office to the my native place. By the time I went for after the cyclone, and within 4 5 days, I went to the field. There is nothing. It entire complete devastation. The crop got completely damaged within 4 to 5 days. So that is the level of incidence of this late blight. So within a like just like any virus, the pathogen has multiplied. Everyone, even last week, I was discussing with our district horticulture officer. The response time is there is not even response time for the pathologist or some plant protection scientist to react and spray. Within four to
Okay.
five days, the plant will be absolutely healthy today. If you see after if we visit the field after 4 to 5 days, the entire plant will be wilting. The entire plant is dried off. Uh, and previously, I will tell you, like in the November ending, the prices of the tomato was very less. Like 30 kgs basket was 30 box, it was giving 450 rupees. When I moved from my office to the field, when I from my Madanapalle to my office around 10 to 15 kilometers, when I'm going on the road, I see all completely dried tomato fields surrounding. I feel very sad, the level of devastation. Even farmers have stopped. There's no proper. There's not even time to respond when the farmers have left the field, even without complete of the harvesting time. Generally, for 150 days,
Mm.
the plants are completely dried. And in place of tomato, they started now putting some beans or like that in that because they felt that they will not be able to harvest any single tomato also. In the same fields, where they have put some beans or some pulses so that they will be able to get at least some 40 50,000 within the next coming 2 months.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
so that is
Yeah.
the level of incidence. Most of the diseases are very devastating. Fungal wilt, bacterial wilts, and phytophthora blights, bacteria, this insect pests. So it is a highly remunerative crop, but still, if the pest or disease is very severe, even we don't get even the cost of cultivation, what we are investing. This is a highly commercial crop. It needs around at least a good management, like it needs 1.5 to 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. But when this type of insect pest, severe infestation of pests and disease is there, even we will not be able to recover our investment also.
Okay.
So it can make you put in, you can make you a crorepati, or you can put you throw it you on the from house to on the road. So very
Okay.
risky crop.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Shashikiran, I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of
Thanks for the
agricultureinformation.com,
opportunity, madam. If any people if still they want to discuss about this tomato or any other vegetable crops, like viral
sure.
diseases, if they have any questions, they can send me a mail like
Yeah,
at
yeah,
seshakiran.kollipara@gmail.com, or they can
yeah,
contact me by phone. My phone
yeah,
number is
yeah,
97175809195. I repeat, 97175809195, or you can put on your website my email
yeah.
ID.
I
So
will put
they'll
it
be
on the
able to
website.
communicate. They're most welcome to share their ideas, or they can discuss about this crop. If they
Yeah,
need any
sure.
my technical expertise for their nowadays, many majority of the people across the country, they are contacting me through LinkedIn or WhatsApp. They are sending the pictures of the tomato, and I recommend.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
with
I will
with the
upload
advent of this
the record.
with
Yeah,
the advent of this social media, we are accessible to people across the globe.
right, right, right. Yeah, I will upload the recording of this meeting also on our
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah,
So
madam.
participants can contact you directly also. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, Dr. Shashikiran, I may end the meeting. Thank you.
yeah, welcome, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity.
You're most welcome.
Thank you for the audience for patient listening.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you.